coffee. How I love you in the mornings. Good sign. Early summer has definitely arrived in England. The sunscreen damage along here. No Mo May has started. Fingers crossed that we can do this. A job that I'm a little bit nervous about. Eggs. Of course, we were tempted by some of the charity shops. A success or a disaster. With my green sustainable head on, this cheese plant is incredibly special to me. A pottering type of day. That is what today is.
And the weather, a dry, bright start for most of the UK again. Feeling very warm and muggy for most of us with a high of 26 degrees.
Good morning and welcome back to, well, outside is already gloriously warm. We are having such a wonderful spring here in England. So welcome back to another spring vlog. It's currently Monday morning and I'm just finishing off the last bits, that are left over from the weekend. I woke up this morning and there was a few washing up bits and pieces around, so I've popped all that away. I was up really nice and early this morning. I've already watered the plants. I've been teaching this morning and the sunshine outside is just making me think I must get out for a spring walk. But before I do that, I've got a job to do this morning. A job that I'm a little bit nervous about. It's something that I've never done before. Let me tell you all about it. At the back end of summer last year, I shared with you an amazing dress that I found in a sale at H&M. Pure white cotton, strappy, and the dress is sort of trumpet shaped, but really, really, really smocky. I think I paid something like £30 for this dress that was in part of their H&M sort of higher range of clothing. I can't think what it's called now. Is it H&M Edit? Or am I thinking about Primark Edit? Anyway, it was one of their higher end items that had been put in the sale. Saw it, you know how much I love a white cotton dress, and I thought this would be absolutely perfect. One of the things that I love to do is buy something in the sale, then keep the label on and everything and have it brand new for the following year. But as always, with typical British weather, we had a heat wave right at the end of summer, almost going into autumn last year. I mean, we do most years around September time. And I thought to myself, I know, I'm going to wear this new dress. So put the dress on and it was a really hot day, so put sun cream on. I think you know what I'm going to say. I've actually got the dress down here. Do excuse what the dress looks like. It's an absolute crumpled mess. It's been sitting at the bottom of my wash basket since probably the beginning of spring, actually. But unfortunately, I have ruined this with sunscreen. I'll show you the damage that I've done. Have you ever done this to one of your white dresses or a white blouse before? So easily done. I just wish that sunscreen would not make these yellow marks on white cotton. Let me show you. So all along this tie at the top is almost a cream colour and it goes all the way round the dress. I've got it all at the back, the sunscreen damage along here as well, under the arm and on the strap detail here. So with my green sustainable head on and the fact that I absolutely love this dress, I have tried washing this out with all sorts of different things. And I really don't want to get rid of it, but nothing is shifting this white sunscreen. So I'm going to try and do something I have never done before. I'm going to try and dye the dress black. Here's the pack itself. You can see the reflection of the window in the Dylon. This is Dylon Intense Black, all-in-one fabric dye. Just put my glasses on. I'm quite nervous. I've never used anything like this before. I'm sure that some of you have probably used a dye like this. It says it's ready to use. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's very, very small writing. Ready to use. Just place in the drum. I do think it is definitely a way of saving this dress. I really am quite excited about this. If this works, then I'm already thinking about other bits and pieces that we can save and dye. First job is to have the items pre-washed. So I'm just going to pop them in for a pre-wash and make sure that they are wet and ready for the dye. Because the washing machine's doing that pre-wash before we dye, I thought I'd make myself a quick coffee. Bit naughty because this is actually my third coffee of the day. I was up super early this morning. Monday mornings I start teaching from 7 a.m. Most of you know this now. I'm an early years phonics specialist and work with children and their families to understand how to read and later to write as well. I absolutely love my job. It does get me up super early in the morning, so I sort of work before school hours, and then I have the day to myself on a Monday, and then I pick up work again after school hours. So I thought today it would be nice to spend the day together at the start of the week. And I haven't seen you all since the vlog last Saturday, which was the bank holiday vlog. And I am so pleased that so many of you enjoyed that one. So it very much was sort of old English market town life. We live near an old English market town. We visit every weekend. And then we went out to one of the local villages for a very traditional May Day. It's over on the channel now if you're interested. We also did a beautiful country drive. I had a little bit of a bacon disaster last week. If you enjoy sort of country life, that might be a good vlog just to catch up with. Coffee, coffee, coffee. How I love you in the mornings. GB and I had a pretty busy week last week. GB's got a lot going on at work, but actually my work seems to get quite busy this time of year. So I know lots of you know this already, but I've also noticed there's many new subscribers as well. So welcome to you. So I mentioned that I am an early years phonics specialist teaching children how to read and write, but I also own a vintage dress business called Seasonally Dressed. And I'll pop a link up actually for a little bit of history about that business and how it started, because it really took me a little bit by surprise. It seems to be that there are a lot of people out there buying vintage dresses. It's moving into wedding season. People have events this time of year, and it seems to be that orders are flying out of the door. So I had a super busy week. I've actually got quite a lot of vintage Laura Ashley. I specialise in vintage Laura Ashley and Liberty dresses ready to put into the shop, but I've just not found a minute to do that. Saturday was a busy one. Jane, my sister, and I met up with our best friend, actually in Jane's garden, had nibbles, and it's just such a beautiful space. Sun was shining. It was just the perfect tea and cozy afternoon, but lounging in the sun. So that was really nice. And then yesterday, Jane and I visited another beautiful market town, and I must vlog over there. We went to Ampthill. Ampthill is, I would say, around 30 minutes from where we live, sort of that way, 30 minutes. They have a beautiful coffee shop called Surfing Cafe. They also have the most amazing antiques emporium. And Jane and I walked around and I kept saying, I am sure the subscribers over on the channel will just love this antique shop. So I promise we'll go over there, especially when the sun is shining. It's just so dreamy. All the flags were flying, and yeah, really lovely day. Whilst we were over in Ampthill, of course, we were tempted by some of the charity shops, and I thought I would show you what I've picked up, particularly one of the items, because I want to take this out with me when we go on our spring walk. I've already got my sunscreen on, but I do need something extra. So as we walked into one of the charity shops, I spied this in the window, thought, I've got to have it. It's vintage, but brand new. A summer straw hat. And just look at the linen bow. Isn't this the dreamiest of spring summer hats? I love anything with a bow, don't you? I just feel like a bow is so timeless. I am yet to try this on though. I was wearing my hair in a Sunday chill out bun yesterday. I've got a mirror here, so let's see what this looks like. I mean, it is just the ultimate spring and summer dream. I love this, and I'm definitely going to wear it today. Just love it. Perfect. Next up, I picked up something that really symbolises just something that I absolutely love at home. Just a little bit of costume jewellery here, a monstera leaf necklace. Isn't it just gorgeous? This was $14.99. I'm sure you all know I absolutely love the cheese plant. Here is just one of the cheese plants that we have at home. They really love to be surrounded by their roots. They don't mind the sunshine, they don't mind the shade. They're such an easy plant to look after and also to grow on, so making more and more plants. I also have a large one of these by the arch window. Hopefully I'll show you that later on, but I've just heard the washing machine, so we need to go through and do the next steps for the dress dye-in. Fingers crossed that we can do this. I'm quite excited but nervous, I think I should say. Dye on next. We're going to remove the outer layer. Okay, that's off. And then there is this pull back section. So we pull back. Oh, there's the dye. So the dye is all inside, and this just sits in the drum. Now my instructions say to put this as a 40-degree wash. I'm quite fascinated by this. I'm sitting by the machine. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was quick, wasn't it? Well, fingers crossed that that works. I mean, it looks like it is so far, but we'll check in with it later. The washing machine is on. I just love the sound of the washing machine. It just really makes you feel very, very homely, doesn't it? Machine's on. I've got my gondola basket in the car. I'm going to grab my secateurs because you just never know what you're going to find. And we're going to head out on this beautiful, beautiful spring day. Just look how green the trees are. I love this time of year. Well, we are currently walking just behind the back of a farm that's quite near us. There's quite a lot of flies around. Love when it's nice and shady like this. Really cool. It's so warm today. It almost is like a summer's day. So much cowslip everywhere. I think I might grab just a little bit of that on the way home. I'm hoping to create a spring wreath. So I think that collecting just some cowslip maybe and some ivy, if I can find some ivy, that'd be nice. Well, we'll forage some and then hopefully we can go home and make a nice spring wreath. There's cowslip, there's buttercups. I just love May. Someone was saying to me recently about the saying, April showers bring May flowers. So true, isn't it? Simple joys. That blue sky today, just beautiful. Birds singing. How are you doing this week? What's going on in your corner of the world? Do you have lovely weather like we do in England? Has summer winter returned again, or are you fully into spring? I know that some of you are already finding the temperatures quite hot at the moment. I know some of us love the heat and some of us don't. Today, right now, this morning, it's around, I would say it's about 10:30. The weather is perfect. It is so warm out today. Early summer has definitely arrived in England. It's just gorgeous. There's so much green and white and yellow, just fresh everywhere. Morning, how are you? Probably because I'm in the shade. I'm not really one for full-on heat, I have to say. I'm one of those people that hide away when it gets really, really hot. We really are very, very lucky to have this stunning greenway around us. It goes around both of our local towns. It's this beautiful, calming space. Cyclists, dog walkers, walkers like myself. It's just a place to come and be, tune into nature, just take your mind away from what's going on in day-to-day life. Does your corner of the world do no mow May? We definitely do here. Lots of counties do. So in Hertfordshire, we promote No Mow May, where we leave grassland, and you can see over the top of this field that No Mow May has started, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. Look at all the dandelions and the buttercups, a couple of crows in the field. I think it's gorgeous, just leaving the wildflowers ready for the nature to absorb and use as much as they need of. This is always wonderful, the Hertfordshire Steam and Country Show, 31st of May to the 1st of June. You'll know how much I love the bird hideout, and I've just heard some geese and I'm wondering if they are over at the hideout, so let's go and check them out. Cowslippers around. It's everywhere. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a glorious day. I don't feel too hot. I think because it's very, very shady around here, I'm coping quite well. I wouldn't be able to sit out in it. Not these days. I used to when I was younger, but I'm somebody who much prefers coolness these days. Shade, a nice lemonade, maybe a slice of lemon and a straw. I'm quite happy. time that we make a move back home, don't you? I need to crack on with some lunch, I think. On the way back, I will just grab some cowslip, maybe some buttercups, and hopefully I can find some ivy as well. What a lovely hour, I would say, I've been down here. I haven't got lots, of course. I would never take ample. Just got a few little sprigs of ivy and a little bit of cowslip, just to pop in a vase, or as I say, just to help my spring wreath. I've got some dried purple at home and eucalyptus that I bought at the market a few weekends ago. They dry really well. So I was thinking that if I could find some ivy, and you know what ivy's like, it just takes over everywhere, doesn't it? If I could just find a little bit of ivy, a few sprigs here and there, it will just help my spring wreath. Home, and it's lovely and cool inside. I have to say, outside is gloriously warm. It's absolutely beautiful out there. I'm just going to give my hands a really good clean where I've been outside just before lunchtime. Glorious start to the day. As I was driving home, I remembered that we had some ivy just round the back of where we live in our communal garden. So I managed to get just a few more snips ready for my spring wreath. But I think it is time to make a nice salad. I really love grilled halloumi at the moment. So I may do some grilled halloumi, or what else have I got in the fridge? Maybe some mozzarella or feta. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Onion, we'll use an onion. And we often have cooked sweet potato, so we shall have some of that. Lots of cherry tomatoes. Cucumber, there's one spring onion. Any more? Yep. Another one there. A couple of spring onions. Oh, we'll have some cabbage. Cheese, what shall we have? So I've got feta. Got a little bit of brie left over, but I'm going to save that. Do we have mozzarella? We do have some mozzarella. I think mozzarella would be really nice today. Have we got any basil? The basil does look very sorry for itself. I don't think I can use any of that basil, unfortunately. And halloumi. I don't know what GB will have. I'm really fancying mozzarella, so mozzarella salad, let's do that. I think the washing machine's nearly finished. I'm interested to know what that's like. Black. Good sign. We'll have to find out what we need to do next. Some nice large salad bowls today. Cannot really beat a salad on a very hot day. but I'm just in the middle of preparing our salad. So the salad main bits are done. Sweet potatoes being in the microwave, so it's nice and warm. I'm going to cut up some mozzarella, probably put some eggs on as well, so we've got a really healthy lunch. The washing machine has stopped. I'm unsure how transferable the dye is at the moment, but it says that you need to wash it now with detergent on a normal cycle. I'm going to use 2 of the gels, and that's really so that I know that I've put enough detergent in, because I am quite nervous, I have to say. Let's put those on a normal wash. I can't remember the last time I had some mozzarella. I love it, especially with tomatoes. Such a shame we don't have any basil leaves. Let me show you what the basil plant looks like. It's quite hard to believe that I'm a plant mum, isn't it, looking at this basil? It needs a little bit of loving care this afternoon, but I don't think I will be using any of those basil leaves in our salad today. I promise I'll look after you this afternoon. I'll take those dead leaves off and give you some loving care. Eggs, 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 eggs. 1. Love eggs. We actually love a hard poached egg. I think it's because my mum used to make a hard poached egg. Sweet potato on. Sweet potato mixed with paprika, or paprika, however you say that. There's enough sweet potato left for one more salad. Great, let's call GB in. Lunch is ready. He loves to knock back. It's ready, love.
Take me home, 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 take me home.
It's a little bit later on now. I've got a coffee brewing in the kitchen. I cannot wait for my afternoon coffee. But before we move through, I thought I would just show you the very, very large cheese plant that I've got. Actually, this is not as big as my sister's one. She's got one that's absolutely huge. This cheese plant is incredibly special to me. It's half mine. It's half my plant, also half my best friend Lauren's plant. I said I'd take care of it. I've put them together and it's absolutely thriving. Absolutely loves being by this window. The leaves are continually drawn to the sunshine. Let's go and find that cup of coffee, shall we? I've just popped a few bits and pieces out that I'm thinking of using to create my wreath. So we've got the purple. I picked this up the other day at the market. Now, one of you did let me know what this was called. You said it would dry very, very well, and it most certainly has. It's great, actually. So I'm going to use this within the wreath. I'll show you it nice and close. So here's the purple. It's dried so well. I think it'll look great in the spring wreath. I've made that bouquet of flowers. I've picked up the purple and then loads of eucalyptus. I've still got some more eucalyptus around the home, especially in the bathroom. There's quite a bit in there. But I've also got some eucalyptus here to use in the wreath. You can see that the eucalyptus has dried so beautifully. I'm really, really looking forward to working with this later on. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a very quick sip of my coffee. Then in the basket is some of the ivy that I picked up earlier on, both when we was on our spring walk and also within our communal garden. So there is plenty there to make, hopefully, a spring wreath. Now, some of you noticed that I put up a different wreath up here in the bank holiday vlog. And that was because the wreath that I put up was the one that was on the balcony. I'd taken the one off of the balcony. It was a lavender wreath. I'd taken it off of the balcony to put the British bunting up. Popped it up here, but I've taken the bunting down now. So this wreath is back up, but I was thinking it would be nice to create my own spring wreath. Just before lunch, I quickly went into the bathroom and I have a concertina bowl in there. It's like a washing up bowl, and I hide it behind the bath. And I use it for indoor gardening, you know, just those sorts of jobs that you need a bowl for. So I just piled the ivy into the bowl. I poured the bowl up with water just to give the ivy a really, really good drenching before it goes onto the wreath itself. And ivy is a good one for a wreath. It's recommended because it does last. It doesn't dry as nicely as the eucalyptus. Eucalyptus does dry so beautifully well, and it has such a strong smell as well. But the ivy will just give it an extra sort of dimension really to the wreath itself, which I picked up on Amazon really, really cheap. I'll leave a little link in the description, but I like a wreath that has a solid base rather than, you know, the green foam ones. I find these much easier to work with. So I'm just going to take off the little tag and let's grab some wire. So I've got some wire in my drawer. You'd have seen this on the kitchen organisation vlog. I have it to hand because I often will make a wreath or I use things along the balcony and they need strong wire. So wire just lives in my kitchen drawer to hand. And I've got my little sort of floristry scissors there. I really don't know where to start. I think I'm just going to go for it. I will bring the camera up close so that you can see what I'm up to. Days pottering around the home are the best days, aren't they? Right, here we go. So I'm just going to get a little bit of ivy, a little bit of eucalyptus and some purple and just go for it. I'm just going to gather together a few little bits in a little posy so that it's much easier to use. So I've got the purple here. I will trim down at the end. I've got the ivy and a little bit of eucalyptus there. I might go for a little bit more ivy on that one. And then a snip. And, oh, it smells amazing. It smells so good. I think it must be the eucalyptus. I'd love to know if you are a wreath creator as well. I am somebody who will sort of gather everything up into little posies, and then I just make sure that when I am tying my little posy to the wreath, that I am going round the same way, and I try and keep it as close in to the wreath as possible. Obviously, the bigger the wreath, the more you will need. So I actually quite like a smaller wreath. I think this one was 20 or 25 centimetres. You can see the difference in its size. This will be a great one just to go on the front door for a little while. The eucalyptus, and the dried purple will just last. The ivy itself, probably not as long, but knowing me, I will probably create this wreath, use the eucalyptus, use the dried purple, I'm so sorry that I've forgotten its name, and then the ivy. The ivy will die off at some point, but I will just keep recycling these bits until I'm fed up with them, really. So here's an example of one of the little posies. You can see that I'm not too strict. I just like to put them together, and once they're around the wreath, they honestly just look beautiful. A pottering type of day. That is what today is. A day where we can potter and just be. It really is absolutely beautiful out there today. It's lovely to see. I've always loved English ivy. There's something very homely about ivy. My mum's always had ivy in the home. We have an ivy. This is the variegated ivy. My mum used to have ivy as a child in her garden. We had it in ours. We're nearly there. No idea how this is going to turn out. I never know how anything's going to turn out. I just pretty much go for it. If you know me quite well, you'll know that I'm not particularly great at planning things. This will just hopefully come together. I've just about got enough eucalyptus, I think. How are we doing with the ivy? Yeah, I've still got a bit of ivy. Right. It's always great if you can reuse your bouquet of flowers that you picked up at the market. The kitchen in here just was full of flowers for when we were hosting my sister and her boyfriend recently at a chess game. I realised I did not let you know who won the game. It was honestly such a great night. There was curry and food, and you'll know that I prepared the home with lighting and just made everywhere look, hopefully, very hygge for a very cosy sort of games night in. But the winner of chess was Daniel, who is my sister's fiance. We lost a bit of ivy, quite a chunky bit. Let's cut that into two. Then we can start. Which ones look small? I'm going to start with a wreath and a little posy. Move that out of the way. So I like to hold it first of all and sort of spread it out. I grab my wire and I just go round the first one and tie it at the back. I'll show you what I mean. As you can see, the first one has been really tied, wrapped round and tied. I've got everything else attached to the reel itself. I'm going to pull that through. I'm just going to make sure that that is really tight just to start with. Just twisting those two loose ends together. And because it's my first time round, I'm just going to bring it back round again just to make sure it's lovely and tight. I have the wire at the back. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to find my next posy, it doesn't matter which one, and I'm going to place it just on top but slightly at an angle. I'm going to sort of check what I've got left now. So I'm coming up to halfway, and yes, I do have enough. That's good. So a little bit of luck. Round again. This is what it's looking like at the moment. Looking good, isn't it? I always find that the trick is to pull it really tight once you've put a little posy on. I think we're finished. Beautiful, very country wreath. What do you think? I love it. I know it's a little bit wild and a little bit free, but that's why I like it, I think. One very wild and country style wreath. I am very, very happy with that. I love that the ivy wibble wobbles. There we go. If I just pop it up here for now, I'm going to get tidy in the kitchen. I've definitely recycled the bits and pieces that I picked up at the market, so that's really, really good. I'm really happy with that. I'm going to clear away and then we're going to see if the dress dye-in has been a success or a disaster. The washing machine has stopped, but I didn't want to get it out whilst I've got all this out. So let's get tidy and then we can take a look. You can really feel the warmth through the window. Doesn't it just make you feel so happy? Okay, I'm beginning to feel a little bit nervous now. Let's take it out and see what it's like. Ta-da! I've done it. We now have one black smock dress, and I'm just taking a look. And the coverage is incredibly even. I'll bring it up nice and close so that you can see. What an amazing finish. That has really covered the fabric so well. It is, as it says, intense black. It is just brilliant. There is so much material to this dress. It has been sitting in my wash basket at the bottom, not being worn because it had that sunscreen stain on it. And it's 100% wearable again. Just incredible. I've never done it before, as you can see on my face. There's more things that I want to dye. I've got a pair of dark green linen trousers. They've got a little bit of bleach on them. I had an accident with a pair of jeans last year. I put them in with a red scarf. So all of the white areas, the white cotton thread of the denim stayed sort of pink coloured. So I think I'm going to definitely buy a couple more pods of these and just revive some of my other black things. I'm really impressed. Right, I'm going to hang this up to dry.